I'm one of the conservators who works with objects made out of organic materials here at the British Museum, and we're looking at some of the plants that are used by First Nation Americans to make baskets and wreaths. They use wreaths sometimes as head wreaths for things like ceremonies where they might be dancing in celebration. So we're looking at some of the materials that at this time of year you might be pruning in your garden, like this one, which is honeysuckle, which grows through the southeastern woodlands in the United States. And when you have a nice spare bit of vine, you simply coil it round on itself and tie a loop, and by twisting this together, you'll make the foundation for a wreath. So just keep building up on that first one. And after we've done that with several pieces, we should end up with something rather like this, just by building up those. And we've left the bark on because it gives it a bit of a rustic look and a bit of colour in there as well. And then we can either use florist wire like this, or I prefer to use something like florist raffia, which is quite a soft material. And now we can start to think about some of our other cuttings from the garden. So that could be something like a herb. So this is sweet bay, and you break it down into shortish sprigs like this. And then using the raffia, you simply wrap that on to the wreath. And when we've done this, after a little while, we should have something more like this, where we're now getting a nice background for the other materials that we might use. New England in the United States is famous for its autumn leaf colour that we can tie in. We might choose to use some berries for colour. So our back is quite rough with lots of ends, but that doesn't matter, as that's going to be flat against a surface, and we can trim this away, or we can just put a knot here so that we've got something to hang from. And trim away loose ends. And here we have a finished autumn wreath, casually tied together with berries and leaves with autumn colour, and the last of the daisies, which are represented in our prairie section of the North American garden.